Good morning, everybody. Hi. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you'd like to say hello this morning. Good to see some of you back here again. Just going to let everyone kind of filter in.
Okay, I can hear. I hope.
Hello, how are you?
It's good. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here for the first time.
Wonderful, thank you. I love to see new people here. It's wonderful to see. We have a lot of friendly faces who are familiar, a lot of new faces. I am going to add some of us to the front. And so as we get started, a lot of people will come in and go. I wanted to explain a little bit about how our meetings work. Normally we just kind of filter in, and this is a community that is very supportive of one another. We're all joining from different parts of the world, and we're all here for a reason. And usually that is for our hair and our skin. And so if you have any questions, if you're experiencing anything that you're not sure of, please share that with us. Share that so that you feel comfortable knowing that most of us are going through the same thing that you're going through. I think that's the best part about meeting here, is meeting all these different faces and seeing you guys, every month. It's really, really supportive and great. So I'm just gonna jump on in and give a little bit of information that I feel is very important, just based off of messages that I've been receiving from our Christian community over the past month. I think that this will help you a lot, especially if you're experiencing this, but might not know, what to do about it. So I've been receiving a lot of messages over the course of this month, mostly related to, with the increase in COVID cases, we have an increase of stress happening in our community. A lot of you are having to work from home. A lot of you are having to take care of not only work, but your children and multiple responsibilities in a place where you can no longer be comfortable and free. And our lifestyles have changed a lot. And I'm noticing that. As a result, there are a few of our members who have come and they've asked me a very interesting question, which is about sleep. They are losing sleep. It's very difficult for them to have proper sleep. And does this affect your hair growth? And if so, what can they do about it? So our bodies, in order for our bodies to give the proper nutrition to the hair follicle, we have to take care of our internal organs, because our body will prioritize your internal organs over your hair anytime. So if your hair is suffering, it's kind of an indication that inside something a little bit off, that you need to fix something within. Loss of sleep can impact our hair growth extremely. A loss of sleep, when you're trying to go to bed, it's important to have some healthy habits. One of them that I see that is most common is that many of our users, they go to bed with the phone next to their pillow, and they have all these thoughts that they're thinking that distract from their sleep. When you're getting ready to go to bed, at least an hour before, try to put your technology away. Try to keep your technology far enough that it doesn't distract you, that you don't think about it. When you're having a phone next to you, you're probably thinking, what time is it? Or do I have a message from somebody in my company? Do I need to answer this email? Because I know that's what I think about all the time, is we just try to make sure that we're on top of all of our tasks. But I really encourage you, because when you lose your sleep, your melatonin suffers. And if you're looking at the screen, especially if you're looking at a screen with blue light, there's a lens in your eye that you can, so when you're looking at blue light too much, it decreases your melatonin. And if you have a decrease in melatonin, you actually have a poor quality of sleep. So even if you sleep for 9 hours or 8 hours or whatever, you know you slept for a long time, the quality is not good. So you might wake up feeling lethargic and tired. And how can your hair grow healthy if your body is feeling so much suffering? So one thing that helps me, and I also do this for my children. I have a lot of children, as you may know, but I always give them a warm bath before bed. Another thing is if you are going through stress, your body temperature is a little bit hot. You want to cool your body down when you're sleeping. So it's not just turning the temperature down in your house, but you want to cool your body down in a very natural way. There is a study done where people who were suffering from insomnia, they went and these researchers put a cool vest on them that lowered their body temperature, and it actually helped them sleep so much better. So you want to be cool, and a natural way to do that, take a warm bath. A warm bath will heat your body up, and then as soon as you come out, your body will naturally cool down to a level that's balanced before sleeping. So these are very important. Another thing is um, meditation and prayer. I think those are the most important things to include right before bed, because you need a system where you can give everything that's in your mind. You need to clear that out completely. So if you have a lot of stress from the day, if you have issues that have been haunting you, you have to have a way to let it go where you can peacefully feel like, okay, I've done what I can for today. Now I'm finished. You need to close to your chapter. So the way that we do it, we gather our family, our children, and we have a family prayer, and then we have our own personal prayer. And in our personal prayer, we just talk to God about our issues and things. We just talk as if we're speaking to a friend. And if you don't pray or anything, meditation is very big. If you can just think about everything that you have gone through in the day, conscious meditation, and let all of it go. And when I say let all of it go, I don't mean, you still have to encounter it the next morning, but for that day be finished. For that day, even if somebody is emailing you or calling you and you have work to do, it's okay to take a break for yourself. And all of this is very important. We think about hair loss and hair growth and hair health and scalp health in a very shallow way sometimes. Sometimes we think that if I put this oil, for instance, my hair will grow so much. And we forget to think that inside our body, there's a full community, I would say. Think of it like a community. The way your body works, the systems and functions in your body, each system has its own needs. And if your body is not taken care of, your body will not focus or prioritize your hair. Unfortunately, your hair, skin, and nails are usually the last thing that your body will prioritize, which is why once you start suffering from stress or high cortisol levels, or if you have thyroid issues or adrenal issues or any type of thing, your hair is the first thing to go. As we age, our hair becomes thinner. It's usually because the functions in our body don't perform the way they did when we were 15 or 20 years old. Everything starts to slow down. So I wanted to bring up sleep because it's been strange. A lot of my users, and I get hundreds of emails every day. So I speak to many of you. Many of you I recognize from my emails. So I speak to many of you almost on a daily basis. And this is something that if you can control the elements in your life that can contribute to sleep deprivation, I think that you guys will see a great increase in the health of your hair. And the second thing that I wanted to talk about, and I have covered this before, it has to do with iron. And iron is very, very important because iron and your ferritin levels, if you're not getting enough iron, and usually this is something that you'll see more common in women who are a little bit younger, who are menstruating, women who even pregnancy, and that's something that I learned because I never usually had low iron levels, but my doctor said because I'm due to give birth next month, she said, your iron levels are very low, you have to be careful. And so this is something that many of our users go through all the time. And I think it is because in our community, in the Christian community, there are a lot of us who prefer not to eat red meat, who are even full vegetarian, and it's harder for your body to absorb iron from vegetable sources than it is from red meat. So for the longest time, my family and I, we just stopped eating red meat, and we've been relying on lentils and things like that to kind of contribute to our iron. But life gets busy, and then you start to forget to focus on iron as an ingredient that you should include throughout your day. So I found a few things that I wanted to share with you. I was at the Whole Foods store, and I just wanted to see, because this is something, especially if you're vegetarian, it can be very difficult to find foods that are very rich in iron. So I wanted to share some that I found that you can supplement. The first is wheatgrass powder. So wheatgrass is very common. It's very easy to access. You can get it almost anywhere. Wheatgrass has, let's see, it has about 61% of your daily value of iron in one serving, which is just a tablespoon. So if just a tablespoon is about 61%. However, it is more difficult for your body to absorb this type of iron. This is called non-heme iron, which is just plant-based iron. So 1 to 2 tablespoons should suffice. If you are a meat eater, usually about 4 ounces of red meat twice a week, that's plenty. That should be plenty to maintain your iron levels. The next one, and this is one of my favorites, because when I lived in Sri Lanka, my mother-in-law used to always make us soup with, fresh moringa, but this is as good as it gets in Texas. But this is moringa powder, and moringa is 28% of your daily value of iron in one serving, and one serving size is 2 teaspoons of moringa powder. So this is a good thing you can add to soups, you can add to smoothies. A lot of you are making those green juice smoothies, like the recipe that I shared. I send it to you guys all the time, that Selva family green juice smoothie. You can add 2 teaspoons of this to your smoothie. It's a very earthy taste. I wish that we had fresh one. You can get fresh moringa if you have a South Asian store next to you. We have a few of those, so we had that every now and then. But when we can't access, we'll go for the powdered kind, and it does well. And then this one, I was surprised. So this is called spirulina. Spirulina is like a seaweed. So this right here has 20% of your daily value of iron in one serving. One serving is about a tablespoon. It has an interesting taste. I feel like it's a little bit bitter, but if you want to add it to like an orange juice or something that has a little sweet, it can offset that bitter taste. And then, of course, there are lentils and beans. And one of the lentils that I know of that is the highest in iron is green grams. Green grams are very small. It's not like a split pea. It's much smaller than that, or it's called moong dal, I think is what it's called, moong, moong dal. And you can find that in any South Asian store. You can find that also in a lot of health food stores here, but I think I'm not sure what it would be called if you just go to Whole Foods, because if you say moong dal, they probably won't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so that's some stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. And then I wanted to open up the floor to you. If you have any questions about anything that you're going through that I can help you with, or that we can all discuss, whether it be in regards to the Chrisan products, how those work, or how they've been working for you, or best ways to use them, or you can ask, anything about your current situation. And don't be shy, because everyone here is going through something. So if you would have a question to ask, go ahead and unmute yourself, and you're welcome to ask. I hope you guys have a lot of questions, because I love to talk. Go ahead.
Mine's actually
Hi.
dealing with sleep, actually. Having a 1-month-old.
Oh
I got less than 3 hours of sleep last night.
yeah. Oh man.
So I don't, like the oil, I did my oil mask last night. I still have it in my hair because I haven't yet, having 6 kids under 8,
Yeah.
haven't had time to take a shower
Oh.
yet this morning. But yeah, sleep, I would say, is my biggest struggle in terms of just getting the enough. I mean, how do you do it in terms of like when you have a newborn, as you know?
Well, our family is very interesting. I'm from California. I grew up with very American country values. My father and mother are both born in California, and I never left the United States. I had never even left California, really. The furthest I ever went was Utah before I got married. My husband and I, we met in March, at the end of March, and we married in the middle of July. And so we had known each other for 3 months before getting married, and then we had our daughter after about a year. So when I had my daughter, I had all of these plans of what I was going to do for how to raise her and what to do as far as her sleeping pattern. And I bought a crib and I put her in there to sleep. And for the first 6 months, that was our pattern. She would sleep in her crib, and that worked for us. Then my husband came to me, and his father starred in a lot of Bollywood films. Oh, they're like Indian movies, and so his father worked with some very big films over there and was very connected in that industry. And one of the people who is very popular there, his name is Vijay Kant. Anyways, he invited my husband to come and make a movie. And so my husband came to me one day and said, "Hey, sweetie, we're going to go to India and we're going to live in India for a little bit." And I said, "Really? That's so great. I've never been out of the country. That's amazing. When are we leaving?" And he's like, we're going to be leaving tomorrow." And everything kind of got flipped upside down. And we went and moved to India, and we stayed there not very long. We never made a movie just because the values and everything. It's not good for family life to be going crazy in movies. And so we moved everything to India. And as we were living in India, we had a small, like an apartment kind of thing. And our daughter slept with us. And this is something that I was like, I'm never going to be co-sleeping. I don't want my children sleeping in the same bed as us. But she started sleeping with us. And when we came back to the States and we kept living, trying to put her back in the crib, it was more stressful than keeping her with us. She seemed to sleep better with us. So we kept her with us. Our second daughter was born, and we saw our first daughter, how peaceful she slept. And so she also slept with us. And we didn't want to put her in a crib because, it's not fair to do that. So we had our second daughter. Then our son was born. He also slept with us. Then we had this king size bed with 5 people sandwiched. And then we had our fourth daughter. She also slept with us. And so when you talk about lack of sleep, I know exactly how you feel, because when the kids wake up, my husband will sleep like a rock. And usually it's the mothers, we have to wake up and help them. Lack of sleep, it's very damaging to our hair, to our skin, if we let it get too far. There are times when I would have to put the babies down to rest. And during that time, just a 15 to 20 minutes powered nap helps so much. I'm not sure if you're able to do that, if you have time to take just a small power nap even, because that's the thing that saved me. And my husband is amazing. He also tries to help as often as he can in whatever way that he can. If I'm too tired, he'll watch the kids. But I feel that as a mother, we have to we know our lifestyle the best. We know our children's schedule. We know how when those pockets of free time are. When you have a pocket of free time, even putting the baby down for a nap, or if they're playing in front of you with toys and maybe you have the TV on or something, just being on the couch just for 10 minutes, 15 minutes can help refresh you, because your body needs to rest. And sometimes it's those power naps where you get the best rest. Oversleeping can also be damaging if you oversleep and stuff. So just that's been my experience. Last night I slept at 2 a.m. and I woke up this morning at 5. So I know how you feel. But after this meeting, I'm gonna go sleep in the car as we drive drive around the road. So sometimes we go for family drives, and the kids are happy back there, and I'll just sleep in the front seat for a little bit. So lack of sleep, you have to try to get it when you can. That those power naps are very helpful. Also, when you're going to sleep, the type of food you put into your body, if it's hard for your body to process it, for instance, if it's fast food or food that is very high in sugar or fats or things, if it's hard for your body to process that type of food, your sleep quality will be affected. So I try to make sure that if I'm eating a big meal or if I'm feeding my family a big meal, that happens early in the day. And then when we get close to dinner time, it's like a funnel. Normally in America, we have, these small breakfast cereal and milk. And then at night dinner, we'll have steak and mashed potato and all this huge food. But if you flip that around and you have a very big, healthy breakfast to start, very big, fill yourself, and a smaller lunch, and an even smaller dinner, just a salad, something very light, your sleep is very good. Your body feels clean, and it doesn't have to work through so much garbage to get that refreshed feeling. So I find that not eating too heavy before sleep, having a lot of water, also the amount of water that you're drinking can greatly affect your sleep quality. If you're drinking water right before bed, unfortunately your body, even if it's well rested, you might have to wake up in the middle of the night to go restroom it, or you might wake up earlier just because your body's uncomfortable. So try to limit water intake to about maybe an hour or two before sleep. Get your water, get your fluids, and just take that 1 hour before sleep to wind down, to meditate or pray or clear your mind. That's very important. Also, the type of sleep you have is very important. As my husband and I were very young when we had our first children, we've always been entrepreneurs. We've always worked very hard. We used to own a restaurant. And when we were doing that, it was very busy work. We were busy all the time. And so we didn't want to waste money in certain things because we wanted to save. We had a small family. We wanted to save, and we wanted to be self-sufficient. And so we did not even have a mattress for the longest time. We would just sleep on the floor. And we were like, well, that's how they do it in other countries too. It's not a big deal. And we're happy. And if we wanted to, we could get a bed. But we chose to save money during those times. But certain times, especially when I was like pregnant, sleeping on the floor is not the most comfortable way. You toss and you turn and it's hard. And even if you have a poor quality mattress, I remember the first mattress we bought, we were like, do we really need it? Okay, fine, we're going to get one, but it's going to be the cheapest one there. So we bought like this $200 mattress that was very thin and springs were there. And that was a worse sleep. So you want to make sure that you invest in your sleep. Buy a high quality mattress. It might cost $1,000. It might cost more than that, but it's going to last you a long time, and it's going to give your body what it needs to rest, more than investing in other things. I think like when we think of good health, we always prioritize our exercise and diet, but I think we should make sleep the king. Sleep is something that can just throw you off. If you're tired, you're angry and grumpy, it can just make you a different person. So invest in what matters. It's still fine to live a minimalist lifestyle. That's something that we love to do. We just live this, look at my room, look at my office right now. There's like nothing here. So we live a very minimalist lifestyle where if we don't need it, we don't necessarily buy it. But if you need it, you should invest in it. If it has to do with your health, you should invest in it. A high quality mattress. Make sure that you have like a humidifier, something that cools you when you sleep. So that would be my advice. But I know where you're coming from. It's difficult with small children, but it is possible. So there you go. Yeah. Do any of you guys have any other questions that I can help with?
I have a question. I use the Kristen hair oil and it's amazing, and I've tried your smoothie and it tastes amazing, but I still experience, I still don't see results. I see more results in other places than I see in other places. Does that make sense? So in my front of my hairline's really thin. I've seen results at the back. I exercise regularly. I eat healthy, I think, sometimes. I drink a lot of water, but I see results in other places rather than the hair, you know, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So,
Well, one thing that is very important for all of us to remember is that we're all very different. And this is something I highlighted in our last meeting. I had a woman who came and she had experienced tremendous growth and health after using it. I believe it was just 1 or 2 weeks. And then I also have women who come here who are going through chemotherapy, or they're going through alopecia areata, or they're going through something that it's very extreme, something that um, it's difficult to get over. And we all will have different health conditions within our body. And that's why I like to have these meetings. I'm glad you're saying this. So not experiencing any results as far as hair growth. When you use oils, the hair growth comes from the opening of the blood vessel. So the terpene oils in the hair oil, they are small enough molecularly to seep down to the where the hair bulb is, and they can stimulate hair growth by opening that blood vessel. Because normally when you're experiencing hair loss, it has to do a lot with lack of oxygen and nutrients being able to reach your follicle. If you think like, so one thing to get very clear for everyone to understand, your hair has its own unique potential. So when you were young and carefree as a child, that type of hair growth that you had then is what you can expect. If you're looking to grow like a big afro and just so much hair, I don't think that the hair oil is the right thing for you. But if you are trying to increase the health of your hair, the terpene oils are meant to expand those blood vessels. If you have a buildup of DHT or anything else that is constricting the blood vessels, that's an issue that we're trying to address. And that's why I share about sleep, about reducing stress levels, about eating healthy and exercise, which you're doing.
it's really difficult to, when you have got anxiety and you take medication for anxiety to sort of not be anxious and stressed. But I really love the Kristen oil. I think it helps amazingly. I use I drink the smoothie. I take your vitamins that you have. So I have seen improvement in the strength of the hair. It's just certain areas are a bit better than others.
When you have anxiety and depression, it affects your adrenals mostly, and your adrenals are very important for hair growth. Your adrenals are those triangular shaped things above the kidney. These create so many hormones. So when your adrenals are affected, it can reduce the level of hormones in your body. It can set them off balance. And that is something that is very real that people need to they struggle with all the time. And just putting hair oil is not going to balance your adrenals. Just
Yeah, exactly.
taking supplements will not balance your adrenals. But you're having the smoothie, and if you I also recommend one thing for all of my users: take a blood test. It's okay. Yeah.
I did take a blood test and I was a little bit iron deficient, so I take iron 3 times a day, and that's helped with the with the Kristen supplement, and also the oil and the shampoo and the conditioner I got. I've done a big shop with you. But it's really helping. It's just sometimes it's difficult to just wait, isn't it?
I know, and so that's another thing is some users, they'll see 2 inches of growth in a month, and I've seen people who are saying in 1 week, 2 weeks. Then I had one lady, I think I've told this story before. We had just launched Kristen, and we launched Kristen for my Instagram community. I have some followers on Instagram that were asking hair care, and this was a while ago when we had like it was manageable, 3 to 5,000 people. It was where I could get like maybe 5 or 10 messages a day, and it was easy to manage. And so they would always ask me about hair growth, hair recipes, and I launched Kristen for them. And then I had a woman who came after 6 or 7 months, and she said, when I first started using Kristen, I hated it because nothing happened. Because I'm losing all this hair and I'm going to these meetings and then I'm trying these recipes and nothing is working for me. But I continued using it and I was consistent and I changed my diet and I did what was suggested. And it's crazy because now it's 6 months. For the first time in my life, I'm seeing new growth. So it really takes time depending on different people. So,
Ye-
but
I
she,
get,
yeah,
sorry, go on.
she's still with us today. She's a really great lady. She's very honest, and that's what you need to be. You need to be honest about your situation. You need to be
Mhm.
willing to share without scrutiny.
Yeah, I mean, I have been using the Kristen oil about twice a week, sometimes once a week. I eat good food. Sometimes I like something bad, but who doesn't? And I drink a lot of water. I have seen growth, and my hair from the back has improved. It's just this hairline is getting thinner. I use the oil every day because on your as well as your smoothie plan, you have the to-do list.
Yeah.
So I do that as well. So it's just waiting, waiting, waiting. But hopefully I'll get there because I do everything I'm advised to do. And yeah.
Can I ask you one question? How are
Mhm.
you wearing your hair throughout the day?
I put it up because when you're exercising, because I exercise, I go to Zumba and I go to the gym and I do lots of different things. It's very difficult, and my hair's not exactly the longest. It's very difficult to tie it in a knot like you suggest in your videos.
Yeah.
So I use like a scrunchie to tie my hair, but because this growth is shorter, it's hard to just leave it like this. So I just put it all up, which is hard. And obviously I know that affects the line.
When you tie it up, are you tying it like right? Are you pulling it tight?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. That's good. I'm glad. When you're pulling it tight, these little baby hairs all get pulled out. So when you're putting your hair up, and I understand my hair is like crazy. So you can't compare. I can tie it in bun. I don't need hair ties, nothing, because it's reached a length like that. When you have short hair, you have to really be clever and how to think about how you can put it up. And I've had this question a lot. If you can try to do this, it might help you, but don't don't pull it. Just try to even maybe you can put a bobby pin here. Keep it at the nape of your neck and do that at least for 3 months. Don't pull it up. If you're pulling it up, it's going to get ripped out. And there's so many ways to take care of your hair. The first thing we have to try to do is mitigate the damage we're doing to the hair we already have. Because if we have, we just want to keep what we have already and then try to get new hair, right? So if you're going to exercise, and my husband and I, we are avid exercisers. We always see us at the gym or the pool.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. But I haven't been exercising for a while because of COVID, but I am slowly getting back into it. So yeah.
But yeah, when you're styling your hair, try to mitigate the damage that you're doing. No, it's hard, but there are ways to do it. And if you cannot go onto YouTube or Google and find ways to keep short hair, then I'm going to do it for you. And I'm going to send you all these ways to keep your hair, because it's very important. If you're pulling it up, these little hairs will go.
Right.
Have you seen Ariana Grande's hair? She pulls it like crazy, right?
Yeah, she does. She does.
The hairline is like so gone. So just that's our proof. We have to take care of what we have, and then we can expect more to come.
And also, I was hoping if you can do a video on YouTube or something, about all your products. I know a bit about everything, but like just a little bit about what the shampoo does, what the conditioner does, even though it's just a shampoo and a conditioner, and what the oil, how to use the oil on shorter hair. And if you've got lots of hair in a position, it's sometimes difficult to put it in the scalp Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like to apply the oils.
Yeah. And I've seen your video where you've had it on like the length and everything using a foundation brush. I follow you all the time. I think you're amazing. But I just want to know more in depth because and I just want to know what I need, because you've got so many products and it can be so overwhelming sometimes which one to buy. I want to use the mask, I want to use this, and I work as well at the hospital, so it's difficult for me to oil every day. So I oil once or twice a week. But then when I use the mask, when do I use it? When I shampoo, when do I shampoo? If I take the Chrisin tablets, do I take them in the morning? Do I take them at night? It can be very hard to follow.
And that's something that I take for granted because it's part of my lifestyle. So I don't really think about it the way you're saying it. I don't think, because if I do a hair mask, I'm just going to mix it with oil and do it at the same time, you know?
Yeah, but it's also dangerous to wash your hair a lot, isn't it? So I don't want to wash it every single day if I'm putting something on.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people that like to go out with greasy hair.
Yeah. That's opposite. I always put the kids' hair all greasy and send them off.
Yeah.
So no, I understand. I can do something like that because we do have a lot of products and it's growing. We're going to be also introducing for skin so many different skincare products probably in the next month. It's going to be its own separate brand because it's going to be skincare that focuses on aromatherapy, because I feel like a lot of our users, if they include aromatherapy, the benefits of Ayurvedic aromatherapy, not just, and it's not even with diffusers, it's with actual application to certain points of the body and how to massage. And I think that will help. So anyways, we're going to have a lot more videos coming. Yeah.
And I've also used the shower filter, the silk pillowcases, everything, even my scrunchie silk, so I'm sure that's helping. And with the skincare as well, can you do a video where, because it's an oil, when do you apply the oil? Do you apply it before your moisturizer, after your moisturizer? Do you use a moisturizer? Do you even need to? Things like that. It just all helps.
Absolutely, absolutely. I understand. We'll do that.
I'm very committed.
That's good. Be very committed and also be in a position where you also like to research. That's something that I think has blessed me and my family a lot, because following is one thing, but when you go and you have a question and you find those answers, it helps us to be accountable to not to make excuse. Because if we have a question on, like, for instance, why my hair is receding and how can I keep it, and what can I do, we'll find those answers because so many people are going through what we're going through.
Okay, but I'll try with the hair, putting it slightly forward and not tying it so back. But at the back, I've definitely seen results. It's just these little ones are growing. I'm waiting for them to go longer so that it can all sort of blend in. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question I can help you with?
I do.
Yes, hi.
First, I have really bad skin, and I started using your oil, and I believe that I have very oily skin, but I'm using the oil, and in about 2 or 3 days, kind of it looked cleansed, and it's fine. It's not thick. What do you think for very oily skin underneath, though? Because I scrub and scrub so much to get the oil out, and then I'm prone to whiteheads and very, very oily glands. So what do you think?
Well, when you say you scrub so much, so I'll tell you what my skincare regimen is. And my skincare regimen is something I follow from my mother-in-law, and she's 63 now. So it doesn't matter what age you are. This is something that I follow from her. But she has told me that exfoliating too much will cause more damage. More damage. Because, for instance, when I was younger, when I was very young, I used to scrub all the time. I didn't want dead skin. I liked that smooth, but I would get whiteheads and breakouts and things that shouldn't have been there if my method was working. After learning the methods from my mother-in-law, what she does is she will start with warm water. And with her makeup on, she'll start with warm water and then she'll use oils to take her makeup off. And then she'll use a facial cloth, a very gentle one, not one that exfoliates, a gentle facial cloth to wipe that oil. And again, she'll put warm water. And because she put oil, the warm water, it's going on skin that is a little bit protected, and she'll do a massage, a full massage, and then again warm water. Not very rarely will we use soap on our face, very rarely. And maybe once a week we'll use a facial mask. The facial mask is very important. It can have so many different ingredients, and it's kind of the same thing like the GROWbyCRISAN 100+ hair mask. You know, it's like a powder that you mix with water and you apply and becomes hard like clay. Then you rinse that off. That facial mask is full of nutrition and it takes all of the impurities out. Your sebaceous glands, when you're scrubbing too much, will actually release more oils. So if you're scrubbing too much, your face might become unnaturally oily. When you're
you have the facial mask? I didn't see it.
my sister-in-law makes facial masks. Her website is reikaglow.com. Everything's organic. Everything's like there, she puts like 30 to 40 different ingredients in one single facial recipe, and that's what I use. I use her facial masks because they're so good. And it's all these different powders and formulas and everything. But when you're putting the facial mask on, that is going to balance your oil production. It once a week, it won't cause your sebaceous glands to overreact. And once again, we don't use soaps because when you use a soap, usually facial soaps have they have
Make your
things.
skin very dry.
Yeah, it makes your skin tight and dry, and it has things that, you know, they're saying are very good for you, retinol and hydrocortisol and all these things. But if you have sensitive skin, sometimes this can cause your skin to burn and become red and inflamed. And you want something that's going to cool your skin. After you massage your face and after you take all the dirt off, let's say you're just a regular nightly routine, without any facial mask, you're just taking your makeup off and massaging and putting warm water, always seal it with cold water or ice. So what we do is we take ice cubes, and when our face is fully clean, we just do an ice massage on our face and fully close our pores. When your pores are closed, not only does it make it so that, you know, foreign particles cannot get in, but it creates this shine, very shine and nice tight look. It's a beautiful look, actually. If you see my mother-in-law, you'll be so surprised because she's 63, but she looks so young. And like when we go shopping, people think that she's my husband's wife, so I have to walk extra close to him.
That's so cute.
No, but it's like there are certain things you can do that are very natural and simple. The main one is for me that you always use the oils, and I use moisturizers sometimes, but it's very rare to find a moisturizer that's not full of some sort of
Chemical.
nonsense, chemical or pore clogging something. Usually it's just like a filler. Moisture is water. So if you want to moisturize and seal it, wet your face and seal it with the oil. Moisture is water. That's what these products are trying to do. They're trying to infuse water into your face. So they're using creams, but the base of that cream is water. So why not use water? Use water, put it on your face, and then seal it with an oil so that it's less likely to evaporate quickly. Yeah, so kind of your skin, your face is very similar to your scalp. We talk about the hydrolipidic film, we talk about the health of the scalp and maintaining that by using penetrating oils, using moisturizing properties like the water, and then sealing it with something that protects the hair strands in the scalp. Same principle will apply to your face. You want to penetrate.
So the face oil, do I have to wash it off after a while or just keep it on?
I keep it on. Yeah.
Okay.
And in this, you're going to wash it when you wash your face. So when you're going to bed at night before sleep, just take a small dot. If you're prone to acne, if oils make your skin break out, just use very less. But if you can, just use a good amount, and under your eyes, all around your chin, do a massage on your lymphatic system so that drains the yuckies from your lymph nodes. You want to drain everything. Do a nice massage. Take your thumbs and just press and massage all up here. Massage your face, your forehead. When you have oil, it makes your skin very slippery. So if you're prone to wrinkles on your forehead, on your eyes, massage with the oil very well. Press firmly in circular motion and massage that. You can use a facial cloth to take the excess oil away, but it's not necessary. If you wanted to sleep with that oil on your face, it's actually very good because the oils are all full of antioxidants and phytonutrients, and they're very, very rich in great things for your skin and for your hair. And when you sleep, your body is most active in cellular reproduction. So if your body is trying to heal itself, usually it heals when you're sleeping. So if you're putting oils and your cells are working fast, the oils are more likely to penetrate deep and affect the areas they need to affect.
Okay. And I have one more question. The hair, I color my hair. I bleach my hair. My hairdresser does all that, and I'm slowly trying to get away from it. What do you think what type of color to use, like a organic color to use? Do you have any idea?
That's a question I get so many times. The problem with hair dyeing that I'm seeing right now is that there's not yet a hair dye that does not cause damage to your hair. Just like when you're using heat styling tools, the same thing applies when you're using chemicals on your hair. It will do some level of damage. So I had a woman a couple months ago who said, well, is all this hair oil and mask, is this all going in vain because I still dye my hair? If you have to dye your hair, whether it be for your own comfort, whether it be for your profession or whatever you dye your hair for, you should still care for your hair by using your oils and masks because you need to help it out. But I've not found a hair dye that is effective, that does not cause damage, because the point of hair dye is to change your color, and they have these hair dyes out there that they say it's not going to damage, but then the hair color is terrible. It's not something you want. So if you have to dye your hair, the less you dye, like let's say your hair is my color and you want to go platinum blonde, that might not be the best idea. If I went down a shade or two, that probably won't be as damaging as if I were to bleach it. I should show you guys a picture. I bleached my hair once when I had my daughter, because I just wanted to see what it was like to have blonde hair. So I went, and my hair has always been this color. I never dyed it. I went when I was, I think, 22, and I asked them to bleach my hair blonde. And they did. They put all these chemicals and they bleached it, and it became this red color. I said, no, not red, I want blonde. So they again bleached it after a week's time. So I bleached it 2 times in like a week. And then it was fully blonde, and I hated it because it didn't match me. And so I said, I don't want this. I want to go back to my other color. So that they're like, you should wait some time because you're going to damage your hair. I said, no, I don't want to wait because I look like a clown. I want to change it right now. So, so I again dyed it back to my normal color, and my hair suffered like crazy. It was this like, oh man, it was falling out and breaking, and it was really bad. So you will damage your hair, especially if you're like me and you're impatient and you don't like the way you look and you just want to change it right then and there. So you can cause a lot of damage. But if you're going to be, careful about it, like most of you are, and you just dye your hair once a month, always protect it with your oils. Oils will help keep your color in, and it'll keep your hair shiny and healthy, because the oils, there are 2 different parts of this, the Crisan oil, that are the main focus for hair protection. We talked about penetrating oils like coconut oil and babasu oil. And if you've seen other videos, you know that it has to do with molecular structure. The linear oils, which are like the saturated and monounsaturated oils, those ones will penetrate deep and fill in the gap. So when you're putting chemicals on your hair strand, your cuticle can get damaged. You can have missing pieces of the cuticle. And these monounsaturated and saturated fatty acids, these oils fill those gaps. And then there's another type of oil, which is called polyunsaturated fatty acids. And you can think of it less linear, but more branchy. And the way that that molecule sits on your hair, it creates a film around your hair, which is why when you're using like the Kristen, your hair tangles are less because your surface friction is less. When you have a film around the strands of your hair, it helps your hair to glide better. It also protects color from leaving. So yeah, there you go.
That's it. Thank
yeah,
you.
You're welcome.
Can I suggest a hair color?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
I'm sorry, I'm kind of new here, so, but can I suggest a hair company? She was talking about dyeing her hair.
Absolutely.
You
I
could look
I'm going to write it down.
into hair print. They use natural, it's kind of like dealing with the melanin in your hair. The only problem is if you have blonde hair, they don't have anything for blonde hair. It's more for brown or black. They haven't developed anything for blonde.
Can you spell that for us? Hair print?
Yes.
I'm going to write it down.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to put my video up.
It's okay. Many of us don't. Even I don't really know how to do this. We're all learning.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. So
I know there's a chat button. Do you see that chat button? Oh, there you go. From Tambri to everyone. Hair print.
you.
You guys see that?
Yes. They're
So-
based out of California.
Perfect.
So I think it's called, I think if you actually were to do a website, I think it's myhairprint.com.
I'm going to type that.
My
Okay, guys,
hair print
for those who need it.
.com.
Oops, there you guys go. Oh, perfect. Someone beat me.
And the face thing, Reka at.
Oh, Reka Glow. So Reka is my
Reka.
sister-in-law, and she knows her mother's recipes really well. And so rekaglow.com.
Got it.
If you need
Thank you.
facial, those are the ones that I use are from rekaglow.com.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Got
Hi.
a quick
Hi,
question again.
Ariana. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. You go ahead. I've been saying a lot. I'll wait.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And I love your accent.
So do I.
So Thursday.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, I'm
I'm
Gigi.
from London in UK.
I love it. I'm Gigi. I'm actually from Hawaii. And but my husband and I are living in Las Vegas right now.
Great.
And so anyway, I'm a new user and I appreciate so much what you're doing, Ariana. Thank you. I wanted to
She's the
also
best. Mwah, I
Yeah.
love my Kristen.
love it. When she held up the bottle, I could smell it. I love it. Anyway, thank you for I too color my hair because I mean, as I'm gonna be 49 this October. And the grays are coming out. So one thing I appreciate about my hair growing, I can tell that my hair is truly growing because of the demarcation,
Yeah.
you know? And so the oils have been really good. I wanted to ask if you could confirm, I did also purchase the Pink Label shampoo and conditioner, which I love. So if I'm understanding it correctly, it's the best shampoo and conditioner for colored hair, or hair that's being colored.
Yeah. So we have two different types of shampoo and conditioner. My personal favorite is the golden label just because of how it works for my hair. But we introduced this Pink Label one, which is fully sulfate free. And so if you know, if you've heard about the way that we've talked about sulfates, is that not all sulfates are bad. there are some very bad ones that can cause reactions for those with sensitivities, which are SLS. And those type of sulfates you would find in like Pantene and Tresemme and things like that. More mainstream shampoos and conditioners, they all contain SLS. And what SLS is, it's a very small molecular sulfate that penetrates very deep and irritates the follicle, and it can cause hair loss. The type of sulfate that the Golden Label shampoo has is called ALS. It's much larger as far as the molecular size, so it doesn't cause those same sensitivities, but it is strong enough to take away thick grease and oil. And let's say you exercise a lot, sweat, and foreign things. Where the sulfate-free pink shampoo, it's cleansing, but it's not going to be very tough. So if you have rigorous exercise and dirty scalp, and let's say your sebaceous glands are overproductive, and you have a ton of sebum buildup or hair products that you use, the pink label might not work the best for that. However, the pink label is fully color protected. So I've had people, because the Golden Label one, it really depends. I mean, if the type of color that you're using, I've had a lot of people who color their hair who say that the Golden Label is just fine and it doesn't fade their hair at all. But then there's the opposite end of the spectrum, which is why the pink label shampoo was introduced, which is those who use colors that are very sensitive to fading. So yes, the pink one will protect your color. It will keep it from fading. It's also very natural. It's extremely thick because it has an aloe vera base. Just a little bit of that one goes a long way. It's very rich and thick. So if you use too much, it can take like 2 or 3 washes to get it out, which I love because when we give products, I want it to last a long time for our users. So they just have to use a little bit and it goes for a while.
It really is a great, I love the smell, and I think it does complement the oil. And there was another shampoo that I saw on your site that was it a cleansing shampoo?
The green label.
It was a green label. I think it was. Is that what would one use or choose that?
That one is not yet released. It's a botanical, and this is one that we've been working on for a year now. And we were going to release it a while ago, but the green label one I have so much hope for, because in shampoos, there is a preservative that is put into so many shampoos that is not natural. And that's one thing that was my goal, was when I created this green label shampoo, I wanted it to be completely natural, very, very effective and good. And the pink label one is a great sulfate-free shampoo that is good for sensitivities. Like if you have sensitivities to smell, it's more of a lighter smell, like a coconutty type of light smell, where the botanical is like the herbal essence of sulfate-free shampoo that smells so beautiful. But I didn't want to release it until my manufacturing partners could figure out how to take that synthetic, what is that called, preservative out. Once they take that out, and they've been working on it for a long time, but they've had to shut their factory down because of COVID, and they're a small little company too. So that's in progress. I took it off the site because I didn't want to tease people, but when it's ready, we'll release it. But until then, yeah.
Thank you. I have 2 more questions. It's quick too.
It's okay. I've got 3 more, so you go ahead.
What do you think of, I hear about derma rolling, and I appreciate the whole thing about the baby hairs, because my issue is the loss. I think it's just from the COVID stress, but I've heard of derma rolling your scalp prior to it. What do you think about that? And then the last question is if you could share with us that first powder you showed before the moringa powder. So those are my 2 questions. So thank you.
Derma rolling is something that if you're going to do it, please have it professionally done, because I know they sell on Amazon these derma rollers, and these are tiny little needles that can cause problems if you don't know what you're doing. I've not heard such success in regards to derma rolling, but it's there for a reason. It could be a fad. It's not something I've ever done. But you know, the principle, the way that it supposedly works is that these little needles cause small pathways that, you know, increase blood flow and help your skin to heal and help your follicles to heal. So if you are going to try it, just get it done professionally so that you don't get infection or things like that from products that are malfunction. And let's see, the products. So I showed wheatgrass powder. Wheatgrass is very high. This one is, let's see, 61% of your daily value of iron. And that is in 1 tablespoon. And it can be added to anything. You can even have it by itself if you're strong enough to handle the taste. But you can add it to your smoothies. You can add it to soup. You can just kind of mix it in without really knowing you're having it. And then for those of you who missed it, I also showed spirulina, which is like a type of seaweed. And then I showed, what else did I show? I showed one more, moringa. I can't find it. It's somewhere here. I showed moringa powder. So those are all really beneficial. If you just even search some of these names and how it helps with hair growth, you'll see that each one has its own little miraculous superpowers with in terms of your hair and antioxidants and nutrition that it brings. Just like how if you just look at all of our faces, all of us are different people. Each ingredient that you use, its difference means something. Its difference is good for something that the other is not. So we all have varying talents. The same thing when it applies to ingredients that you're using, which is why 55 oils is so effective compared to if you're just using coconut oil or something like that. Okay, I have one hand raised, one more question. I'm gonna turn the floor over to you, my dear. SV is your name. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. Hi.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Sheetal. I first of all wanted to thank you for mentioning those iron-rich foods because ferritin is something I've been struggling with for a long time, but got really bad. About 3 months ago, it had dropped to 8. And I was sent to a hematologist to get an iron infusion, but she refused to give it to me because she said my hemoglobin is not low enough, even though my ferritin was so bad. So she wanted me to not supplement for 3 months so that it gets worse so that she can give me the iron infusion. So my hair has been like just absolutely just falling apart. I know it's directly affected by that ferritin being so low. So I'm hoping that helps soon and that I can get my iron infusion and get on a good track again. But in the meantime, I will definitely supplement with these suggestions. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And you're vegetarian, right? I remember you from like 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yes, I am vegetarian.
Perfect. You were actually in my mind when I was thinking about these because I never was able to come back to you with what ingredients you could use. But yeah, definitely try these and see if they help. Wheatgrass, the ones that I showed you, wheatgrass has the highest potency. And if your ferritin levels are very low, and for those of you who don't know, ferritin is just it's a protein that measures the store of iron in your body. If your ferritin levels are very low, this can help boost it and help increase it. Also, you know this, I'm sure, leafy greens. Just make sure iron is your focus in your diet, especially if your ferritin levels are 8. Because can you tell me the where it should be? It should be above a 12.
Yeah, my dermatologist actually said it should be above 70 to regrow hair.
Between like 70 and like 100 and something, no? 130.
You know, I don't even know the top end of the range because I struggle to get to the bottom end of that range. But yeah, I know she said 70 is my target. And the tricky part with me is I know that my free floating iron was okay. So supposedly I'm consuming it enough, but I'm not absorbing and retaining it.
Right, which is very common with non-heme iron. When you're taking plant-based iron, it's very difficult to absorb, for your body to absorb it.
Okay.
I know that there are, this principle of synergy when you're low in one nutrient and you're just taking that simple nutrient, sometimes it does not absorb as well as if you're combining it with other things. With iron, I believe it is vitamin C. Is that right? Vitamin C combined with iron helps to absorb, which is why you can have like vitamin C rich foods, bell peppers and citrus fruits and things like that might be help your body to absorb it better. So
Yes, thank you. Just a couple more questions. So you mentioned using the oil to take makeup off of the face. So do you recommend using the True Age oil to remove the makeup and then again to seal your skin?
I just use the True Age. I don't use anything else on my face. I use it to remove my makeup, and then on clean skin, I apply it before I sleep. I also put it under my makeup, so when I wake up in the morning and refresh my face and I wash with water and seal it, I will put the oil on before applying makeup, just about 10 minutes before. I think that really helps to keep your skin protected for the day. And you can use it as sunscreen. You can use it on top of moisturizers and stuff like that. So
Okay. Last question. That it's not great to wash your hair every single day, and my hair does run dry. However, I was wondering, how do you then keep like your hair fresh and your scalp fresh when you work out and get sweaty? And to not make it too often that you shampoo, but then still, not be all sweaty and icky. So,
well, this is something that goes with your basic instinct, because when you're exercising and you become sweaty, and we used to run before I became pregnant, my husband and I would run every morning for 1 hour on the treadmill, and we would run fast. And this was our regular routine. And you become very sweaty, you become hot. Now we're thinking that we have to follow this rule book of don't wash my hair every day. Well, I just ran, what do I do? I recommend following your instinct. If you are dirty, if you're sweaty, wash your hair. It doesn't matter if you washed it yesterday and you're washing it again today. You have things that if you leave it on, it's going to be more damaging than washing your hair. If you're using a gentle shampoo, something that does not have SLS, you're going to not irritate your scalp. And there are people who, in just the Christian community, they wash their hair every single day, and they don't want to change because that's their lifestyle, and that's okay. Their hair is healthy, their hair is flourishing. And we also have people who wash their hair once a month, and that's just because they do get sweaty, they don't have that dirt, and they also have a hair type that is very prone to dryness when washing, so that works for them. That's how they like it, and that's okay. We all have different habits, we all have different ways that we upkeep, and whatever makes sense to you. For me, if my hair is dirty and sweaty, I'm not going to keep it there. I'm going to wash it away and do it in a way, like I always follow this rule. If I'm going to wash my hair, if I'm going to go swimming, if I'm going to put water in my hair at all, I always protect it with oils first. I get so many funny stares because we go to the local like recreation center for our kids to swim, and I'm just putting oil in my like 4-foot long hair. And so it's a process that I'm committed to, because when you go into water, your hair will absorb that water, and then when your hair starts to dry, the hair strands will shrink, and it can cause damage to your cuticle. It's called hygral fatigue. So you want to protect your hair with oils. I use it before I wet my hair ever. Even if it's raining outside and I've just styled my hair, I will put oil in it because I don't want my hair to get that damage.
Okay. I the gold shampoo, the gold label shampoo and conditioner. And I was told by the derm, like, even if you get sweaty, just use dry shampoo, but try only shampooing every 3 days. But I just don't feel right about that. So
dry shampoo, be careful with dry shampoo. it will cause dandruff. Dry shampoo is something that if you put it in one day, you want to wash it out that same day, because it's sucking all the oils from your scalp. It's irritating your scalp, and when it sucks those oils, it causes the dry shampoo powder to become a little hard, and that
Oh.
can be like a breeding ground for bacteria. So just make sure that, because dry shampoo is it's a powder that you're putting on your scalp. It's like a baby powder. It sucks all the moisture, but you don't want to leave it there. So dry shampoo is something that I avoid. I think dry shampoo is very dangerous for scalp health.
Okay.
Just wash it. Keep your scalp clean. Your scalp wants to be clean. Just because it's called dry shampoo, it doesn't clean your scalp. It doesn't wash your scalp of any impurities. It actually adds to the impurities on your scalp. Your scalp wants to be clean and clear and fresh. So I would recommend washing.
Okay.
If you've seen, I made a video recently on our YouTube channel talking about the washing of hair. Some of us get scared to wash our hair frequently because we notice hair loss when we wash. And so it creates like a cycle of going weeks without washing, and then you finally wash, and all that hair that is stuck in that shedding phase comes out at once. If you're into regular washing, at least every 2 days or every 3 days, that's plenty, unless you're exercising, and then I would just wash it then and there.
Okay. Thank you so
I've
much.
You're welcome.
I just want to say one more thing. Obviously, I exercise loads and I train loads and all that stuff. I wash my hair twice a week. Would you recommend whatever activity you do, whether it's exercising, whether it's sweating a lot, whether it's always put Chrisan oil? If you wash it every day, or even if you wash it a little bit, put the oil on first. So you said if your hair's dirty, if you train every day, because I train every day, your hair will get sweaty and stuff. Would it be a good idea to put the oil, wait a while, and then wash it?
Yeah, so a good rule of thumb is just if you're going to be getting your hair wet, put the oils first. And then as far as washing, go with your instinct. If your hair is dirty, wash it. Don't let it be dirty. Don't let it sit overnight. It's okay to wash your hair, especially if you're using a gentle shampoo. The reason a lot of these dermatologists and everything say, please don't wash your hair every day, it's very bad, is because the type of shampoos they're using are Pantene Pro V and all these SLS filled shampoos. And when you use SLS type of sulfates on your scalp, it strips your scalp of every oil and everything. And so your sebaceous glands start to overreact. You can start experiencing inflammation and hair loss when you're putting chemicals like that on your scalp. But choose a shampoo that has been formulated to be gentle with a larger molecular size sulfate. It doesn't even have to be the Chrisan shampoo. The Chrisan itself, we love to teach about the oils because that is like the star, and we encourage everyone to make sure that it fits with your current regimen. So some
I
of
think it's because of we all have hair loss issues or hair problems, that we want to sort of have a regimen and know what we're doing. And because Chrisan is so, I like it and it works for me, you want to know when to use what product. Does that make sense? So I want to know, when should I use the oil, when should I use the mask, when should I shampoo, when should I condition, because then it becomes a regimen. And then you also, and with me, I worry if I wash it every day, I'm going to lose it, because you have that at the back of your mind, because that's what you've been taught. If you wash your hair every day, it's going to dry, it's going to fall off, and you're trying to not prevent that from happening, so you don't do it, even though when you say if you don't wash it for a long time, that could be damaging too. So it's really hard to find the balance. That's why I was saying, if you could do a video for me, that would be great.
Yeah, it's something that I think a lot of you know this about me who've been following for a long time. I feel it's very important for all of us to be able to have a routine that works for each of us. Even if I do a video of how to use, I'm still going to get people saying, but this doesn't work for me this way, or I use it differently this way. And
Sorry.
that's what I love about Chrisan, is it's very versatile. It can be used in many different ways for many different people, and it works for everybody in their own unique way. So I'll definitely try doing that. but I've got to cut this meeting because we're about 15 minutes over, and my
I'm
husband
sorry.
so I'm gonna go surprise him and rescue him from our children, and then I hope you guys have a
I'm
wonderful.
so sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm so glad that you guys feel comfortable to ask me. So, and I hope to see you guys next month. We do this every month on the second Saturday at 11 o'clock Texas time. So, yeah, I'll send you guys emails, and I hope to see you guys next time, and have a wonderful day. And just so
Thank
you
you.
remember, a very important day, Monday is my birthday. So I'm
Happy birthday for Monday.
thank you.
Happy
Yeah.
How old are
birthday.
you? 21?
Birthday.
21. Yeah, I'm 20. No, I wish I was 21. No, I'm 31. So
Oh, okay.
not so old, not so young, just right there in
Mm.
the middle.
Thank you so much, Ariana.
you.
Happy birthday.
Have a
Bye,
great
ladies.
day. Happy birthday.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you.
I'm sorry if I ask you a lot of questions. I'm so passionate.
We love you guys.
Here's one more
Bye.
question, Halimo.